And a little hayfield, which was underwater in the last one of the last videos. So as you can tell, she's drying out. I think this here is one of the last puddles left in it there yesterday. And as you can hear, it is a little bit windy. But that's good. It's drying this out. And as you can tell, walk out across here in places, the hay is jumping. The grasses are jumping up. Even the wet spot, it's jumping up. We'll walk out here in a high spot for you. But yeah, it's been yeah, it got wet. And I really wish when I worked this up I had a Cultimulcher or just a packer to help level this out after I got done really messing it up when I moldboard plowed it. Clear again, I'm not the best at some things, I'll admit it, but I'll try to do it. But yeah, here we go. Here's some clover and some of the grasses, and as you can tell, hope that turned out. As you can tell, it's jumping right back up. A little bit of moisture, a little bit of heat, and away we go. And as you can tell, down across there, the lakes have gone down. My little lake hayfield went down, and the neighbor's lake, it's went down. The waters have receded, but one thing about it, this field here to the north of me, the farmer that had it, he retiled it and ran all his tile to the west along that railroad grade. There's a ditch along there on this side, and he ran all the tile over to it, so all the water goes off that field into that ditch along the railroad grade and goes over and out and so forth. And then the farmer that farms this field to the east of me, he tiled it. Now he did find a tile and hook on the south side of the field, that way. But he also found a tile that comes over, well, there's a tile over here in between, if I'm pointing where I can see, I don't know, I can't tell, where my little trash sign is and the utility pole. There's a spot along here, plus there's a culvert coming out of the road there just north of my trash sign. So all his water comes over, can come over and run through the culvert and onto me over into here, and then so I got some water that backs up from the east of me, north of me, and when the water flows, it all flows under the road tracks off to the west of me. And there's a creek about a quarter mile west of me that all dumps off into, and then it goes to the south and then angles out and around. And you know how creeks cut, how creeks and rivers and lakes and all that crap around, they just go every dang direction. But anyway, I'll give you that quick heads up of heading up down the hayfield, and we have wasted about 4 or 5 minutes of your time on that one. Let's go do another update, so hang on there, man. Okay, that hayfield was update number 1. This is update number 2. The Jenny pressure washer steam cleaner unit currently is a POS. Now, the reason why I say it's POS is because I need to work on this pump assembly. Neither side is currently pulling water in and pumping it out to go to the coil from the reservoir. So I got water from the reservoir to the end of the hoses that go into the pump, but from here out. I don't have any pressure, no water going. So what I've done is pulled the hose off, pulled this hose barb off, and then I took the the hose and the wand off, and this fitting out, and I actually took compressed air and blew through the heating coils, and those are good. No leaks. What water was in the system actually blew out. The hose and the wand, I of course took them off, and I also had to clean this hose barb out, and had to clean this connector out. And then, where is it at? Oh, I took the nozzle off the wand, and the hose had a hole in it. Sure it did. I must have threw that away. Anyway, the hose, I took this section hose, cut this hose out. There's already a splice that they'd already had in this hose with a hose barb and hose clamps. So that's what, about 2 feet plus or minus. So I just cut that bad section out and went to the splice, the hose barb splice already in there. Blew water through, or blew everything out of that hose and wand. That should be good. So all I got to do is figure out this. And so I'm going to have to go online, find some information on that, and go from there, and we'll be good to go. But just a little update on that for you. Got to work on it. Dang it. All right, let's go for update number 3. Okay, update number 3. The fence, corner post, brace post deal. Now, this isn't exactly how ideal I wanted to do this, but brought the fence around, all strands of it, and we're on both lines of fence, one going that way and one going that way. But tried to make loops and put a steeple in them wherever I could to help hold them, and multiple steeples in it to hold it. And if I had where I'd cut off a stay on the fencing, when I built the fence 20 plus years ago, I tried to catch near them if I had to with a steeple to help hold the fence and tension of the fence. The barbed, I just brought in around the post, small spool of wire, so I just spun it around and shot back off that way. So the fence so far is good. Wife staying horse has not busted through it yet, but I want to discuss something on fence stretching real quick. If you gotta bear with me, take a minute. A fence stretcher. Now this is a model type of fence stretcher I've been using for 30 plus years, or longer. But anyway, I've had this for a long time. I mainly use it to stretch mainly barbed wire fencing with, and I usually make where I tie this all together is like right here, where I'll take hose, try to take a barb off each side and loop behind the barb and just start spinning. And when I do that, after I get my tension set, pull it tight, I'll take a claw hammer, tap here, get them so they got a good bite on that on the wire, and then take the handle and just start ratcheting it, pull it tight. And then I'll take I got 2 barbs nearby one another, and try to loop behind the barbs to help the thing, when things stretch, they catch. And what I like to do is take fencing pliers and just grab it and either barehandedly try to spin the wire as tight as I can to the wire, or hold that with the fencing plier, and then just get a simple pair of slip joint pliers, and just take and use them to spin the wire tightly around the fence. And as you all know, slip joint, just right here, you're slipping from this spot to this spot. Slip joint plier, simple plier. Now, where I get concerned, my Safety Sally comes out, is when I go to release this tension on the fence stretcher. Now, I've seen some in the past just take their hammer, smack this and undo it right here, when you got all that inertia stored up here, and it's just going to spring open like a rubber band. Now, I prefer to grab the handle here and pull that back all the way and let the fence spring back while still being held here and here. Now, my reason for doing that is, if I messed up here trying to splice my wire, there's a good chance if it does come undone and I break it loose here, there's a good chance of me getting hit in the eye, face, however, being injured. But I feel that as long as I'm still got it held here and here, I just pop this and let the stretcher continue to hold tension, then I feel safer, because it shouldn't snap and get me. If it does come undone, then I still got to hold the fence. I can still pull it back tight and try again. As confusing as that was, I've done that for years, and I've still got 10 fingers, and I still have both eyes and no scars. So I've been lucky with the fencing on that. So bear with me and I'll show you one more thing. Okay, now this is how I prefer to do the fence when putting the barbed wire or the woven up. I prefer to come around the post and then do some wraps, and in that way it's held tight. With the woven fence, bring it around, wrap as tight as I can to each strand of the fence. Now, of course, what am I holding him in with? Wife's dang horse. I'm holding him in with a cattle fence, which I put up 20+ years ago. And yes, typical horse, he likes to ride the fence. But just so you can see, I do have a way of building fence that works. Now, I'm not going to go into setting posts, because I know there are several ways of setting posts to where you can set them so that they don't lean near as bad. But it involves putting wood in the ground and making what they call a trigger, where, if I remember right, it's set to where it hooks the two posts together in a board and stuff nailed onto the posts, and it's more trouble than it's worth. These posts are just shot in the ground and there you go. End post, brace post, corner post, brace in, number 9 wire a couple times around and spun tight as can be, and then held up against the brace, and away you go. So I'm gonna end it here, so that way some of you can see the wife's dang horse. Yes, he is fat and happy. I mowed his pasture, his lot, yesterday with the little toy tractor and the bush hog, but it grows faster than he can keep up with it. So that being said, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. Glad you hit the stop by and watch my video. And on that note, I'm gonna say, as always, please comment. Like it when you comment. Rate. None of this or this. And subscribe. I appreciate you if you subscribe. On that note, y'all take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Stay safe.